38 people right now. I don't want to keep rambling. I will give it to you all to take it away, Vlad and Zach.
Okay, so welcome everyone once again. My name is Vlad. I'm the founder, CEO of Kagi, and today I want to talk about the new pricing plans. I know there has been a lot of discussion around that, so hopefully able to clarify some of that. We made a number of updates to the blog post since it went live last week. Actually, let me share my screen if I can. Should be able to. We can go through that. Right, do you see my screen?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, so the first version of the blog post left a lot to be desired, and I apologize for that. It took me a day to write it, and still was half of what it is today after all the updates that we made based on the community feedback, emails we got. There was a good discussion on Hacker News around this. Essentially, there were a lot of things that we missed to mention, clarify, or otherwise cover in the blog post. Since then, we updated all these sections. I added a lot to the FAQ section. So let me go quickly first through the pricing plans. I've seen, I'm sure you all seen these. So these will be the new pricing plans for new users starting from tomorrow when we roll the update. The free plan is changing to one-time 100 searches. The standard plan becomes $5 per month, 200 searches included, and then pay as you go. And this is mostly for all those new users who never got a chance to try Kagi. It was too expensive, for example, for them. And now they will have the opportunity to try it. Also, our research shows that 99% of basically internet users have search around 100 times a month, so 200 should be enough for them. We don't have many such users right now. Almost all our users are in the remaining 1%. And this is what this is why we created a professional plan, which targets the internet professional and researchers and has 700 searches included. So this is roughly the average that we get from our user base. So for $10 a month, same price basically as before, with an option, of course, to pay as you go after the 700 searches. And then we are creating the unmetered, which previously was 10, now is 25. It will come with some additional benefits, especially in the future. For example, it will allow discounted access to other Kagi services, such as the Universal Summarizer API, which should be out next Wednesday next week. And also allows the 15% annual discount option. In case you wonder why these plans do not have an annual option, the reason is pay as you go option, because we need to charge this monthly. And it would be kind of awkward to be on an annual plan, and then in case you're going over, you need to pay these extra cents or dollars. We charge you monthly, and we couldn't figure out how to do it. So only the ultimate plan has a annual payment option. So let me go back. In 2 weeks, Actually, let me talk about the family plans first, and then we go to what happens with existing subscribers. So in 2 weeks time, on March 29, so 2 Wednesdays from now, we will be launching the family plan. We tweaked the pricing since the blog post a little bit. As you see, this is now $14 a month. It was 15 initially, and we also increased the number of searches in the family plan. It's now 1,500 versus 1,000 that it was originally. We also removed the under one roof option, which was just a figure of speech. But the intention here really is for 2 people or up to 6 people to share this account. One of the questions that got asked a lot is, are these searches per user? No, this is the total pool of searches included for the account, and then it's shared between the members, and then it's 1.5 cents per search afterwards, like with the individual plans. Also to mention that we will be launching the revamped business plan sometime in the future as well. We need to rethink the pricing and the presentation for it a little bit. So that should be coming perhaps in April or May timeframe. Okay, so to quickly go over the what happens with existing subscribers. So everyone that's currently on the premium plan, which is the name of our current $10 a month plan, will stay on that plan until their first renewal. So if you're on a monthly subscription, it will stay until it renews sometime this or next month, or if you are on an annual subscription, you will stay on that plan until that annual subscription renews. A lot of people wanted to upgrade before the switch tomorrow to capture the annual subscription. That is possible. To do that, you can go to your billing screen, click Manage Billing, cancel your existing monthly plan, and then subscribe with selecting the annual option in the checkout, and you should be on the annual plan. It will automatically prorate any credit you had from your previous monthly plan, and then that way you would be able to lock in the current plan for another year. Apart from this, we are also introducing the early adopter professional plan, which will be available to everyone with an early adopter flag. This plan is basically is $10 a month and is offering 1,000 searches instead of 700, and will be automatically available to everyone with the flag. We're making one change there as well. We previously said this will apply to people who have an existing subscription at the time of rollout. We just made a decision, and it's not updated in a blog post. I will update it soon, that this will apply to anyone whoever had a Kagi subscription prior to rollout. So even if you don't have an existing subscription right now, or tomorrow when we roll out, we will still flag you as early adopter, and you will see a nice little badge in your dashboard. And that means that instead of the professional plan, you will see early adopter professional plan, which will have 1,000 instead of 700 searches included whenever you decide to resubscribe in the future. And just a few more things. As I said, the blog post is updated. You can find additional information here. I want to address a few questions directly. So a lot of people asked, why are we investing in AI and Orion when they're not interested, or we should focus on one thing. So the main thing to understand is that Kagi has zero marketing budget and spends zero money in marketing, and we see Orion and AI in the future as customer acquisition channels for Kagi. And Orion is already providing about 20% of our customers. So a lot of people find Orion first through Reddit, through Hacker News, through Twitter, through YouTube, and then find out about Kagi. So basically, instead of spending money on marketing, we're spending money on creating these products, which we think are also necessary, because you need to holistically replace the infrastructure for consuming the web, not just create search. And the same thing is with AI. We launched the Universal Summarizer a couple of weeks ago. It got great reactions and garnered hundreds of customers for us. So all these initiatives are basically a replacement for marketing, and this is why we are investing in them. Plus, they all see use. There is a wonderful synergy between Kagi and Orion. For example, if you use both products, and the Universal Summarizer technology will be used in the product, as Zach will demonstrate soon. So I think it's very important, and this is the reason why we are investing in this. Lastly, a lot of people commented that the new pricing is weird, that nobody will like metered search and whatnot. I, to a degree, agree to that. But we did think about this for 3 months. We had a great debate with this community. There was literally no other alternative that was better than this. So while this is not 100% perfect, and certainly is not as elegant as it was before, we literally could not find a better way to cover such a wide distribution of search usage across our user base. So there are people who search a lot. I mean, I say a lot, like 1,000, 2,000, even 3,000 times a month. And there are, 99% of internet users who search 100 times a month. For example, my wife. And it was just impossible to cover all that with one plan, especially since we were attracting and are still attracting people that fall in that 1% category. So every attempt to kind of try to average it out in hope that, the low searching customers will subsidize for high searching customers did not work, because we are mainly attracting the people who search a lot, who and this didn't work. So $10 a month didn't work, and we're gonna try with 25. We don't know what will happen. It's very hard to tell. This is our best effort guess that it will work. And then we are including these plans so everyone can find what they need, and hopefully Kagi will be approachable to a much wider audience than it was before. So that's all from me for now. I'll pass it on to Zach, and then
their flexible spending accounts. And so there's a lot of information to read, both on the from the IRS and from my insurance providers and blah, blah, blah. So I was using Kagi to help me understand how I can actually use that. So I went ahead and summarized the results. And at the top of the page, Zach, you can do that. And you'll see what I really liked about this is that it helped me understand what I needed to very quickly about flexible spending accounts. It gave me references to the different documents that helped create that summary if I wanted to deep dive into individual things. And it's accurate. So it saves me a lot of time that I normally have to read through several heavy documents to figure all this out. I can even go to individual pages. So for example, Zach, you can scroll down and you'll see a page from the IRS. Keep going a little bit. Maybe I'm not sure. Your results will be a little different than mine. Yeah, there we go. IRS.gov. You can summarize that and get more information. And that's really helpful. And I can even use the discuss a page feature to identify, for example, can I use my FSA to buy diapers or buy milk or buy COVID tests or buy candy? Hint, you can't use it to buy candy. It's really powerful for me as a really busy professional who's trying to balance having a new kid and also understanding the right ways to bring them the best healthcare I can while being fiscally responsible. So Zach, you could even try doing the discuss the document. I'm not sure exactly if that's the one I played with, but see if it can use it to buy COVID tests. And that's what I basically asked it. Can I use this to buy COVID tests? Can I use it to buy diapers? Can I use it to buy candy? And so that's this was really helpful for me. I actually get to use it, not just play with it. So helps me when my wife says, "Can you go figure this out?" I say, "Yes." I turn to the computer, and there we go. I got an answer. I don't think it's going to say yes, but let's see. Shucks! Candy doesn't qualify. So yeah, but I mean, joking aside, you can see very real world as a parent how this is helpful. This can be for me. That IRS document is super long. So yeah, I don't know if that. I see other questions in the chat. Yeah, glucose supplement, probably a good chance. Hugh, I mean, that's a valid option. Anyway, I don't know, Zach, if you want to open it up to the chats. But yeah, that was my example there.
Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, if anyone in chat has anything to anything we can search, or you want to try with the result summarization or discuss document, we can throw in an example really quick. So we try gaslighting the AI. Can you look up a band and ask when they're going on tour in Toronto? We can try that one.
That's not a bad one. I don't know when Brother Tiger's next on display, Zach. But you can do one more, little more mainstream potentially.
Yeah, know that you can ask it anything about what is on the page. So you would need to open a page that actually contains the answer to that question. Otherwise, it will not answer it. So this is a discussion with a document. It is a closed context discussion. It's not like an open-ended discussion where this can act as your therapist or whatnot. So we are strictly, yeah. Okay, let's see.
Try asking a question.
Dax had a really good example too, and I think that what you're putting into the chat, folks, is exactly why this is so valuable. Nutritional information on a specific product. Yeah, clever. Ingredients. Let's say you want to replace a recipe or something. Oh, look at that! All right, Michael, we're coming.
There you go.
That's cool. All right.
You any everything dude? That's cool.
I think we should stop the demo while everything is working.
Well, we do have some really good questions too. And in fact, the top question here, Zach and Vlad, is actually about Universal Summarizer. I'm not sure if you want to pivot to QA now and start with that question.
So let's pivot to QA. I see a lot of questions there. Alex, maybe you can open the you have the screen share. Or who has the screen share? Is it you, Zach?
It's me right now, yeah.
Okay, can you open the questions so we can go through them?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
The first one is, can you give an overview of how the Universal Summarizer works? How do you get around the context length limitation? So many of you probably don't know that Kagi was initially Kagi.ai, and we started as an AI company in 2018. And we did a lot of research, and including published research, specifically in the area of question answering and summarization. And actually, the Universal Summarizer is something we have been working on since 2019. So it's not a completely new thing powered by generative AI like many other things here. So the core of the technology is not using the generative AIs, and this is why we don't have any sort of content length limitation. It can literally consume content on any length. And I've seen people try it on Bible. I've tried it on Russian writers like Tolstoy who write 1,000-page books. and it works, and it works in real time. And we're hoping to be able to write more about the technology behind it. There's so much going on right now, and usually when we write a blog post, it takes me like 2 days to do it. But it's important to say that the Universal Summarizer will be launching next week, both as a standalone app available to Kagi users and as a consumable API. And we will write more about this next week in a blog post announcement. But for now, we are really happy you guys like the Universal Summarizer, and we have even added 2 more modules to it. One of them is audio summarization. So basically, you can give it a podcast audio link, MP3E, WAVE, AAC, whatever, and it will produce the summary in real time. And the other one that we did for fun is Hacker News discussion summarization, which is pretty cool. I know many of you are Hacker News users like I am, and the summarizer will now have a special module for summarizing Hacker News discussions. So that's all coming up in next week. Oh, the GPT-4 has been officially announced supporting up to 32K tokens. What does it mean for future Kagi AI? I haven't seen the GPT-4 announcement yet, so I'm going to check it out. 32K tokens sounds nice. We have not been that much affected by the limit because the Universal Summarizer does, as I said, does not rely on it. 32K tokens is much better. Still, you cannot use it to summarize books or big research papers. So it's, I think it will improve the quality of our chat feature, which uses ChatGPT, for example. Yeah, I really haven't seen the announcement, so I cannot talk further to it. But yeah, looking forward to that. I think we will see a lot of examples from GPT-4 coming out today, and we'll certainly consider all of them and see how we can use it for our customers. Okay, so are these questions changing in real time? You're doing Marcus answers. Okay. Yeah. Again, AI question. Did you develop all AI tools from scratch, or were they based on something like DaVinci or some open source LLM? So as I said, we've been doing AI long before the large language models came around, and we're actually going to write more about it in the blog post next week when we launch the AI tools. So it's a mix of our own in-house technology. We certainly use ChatGPT. Training and building these large language models is incredibly expensive, and a small startup like ours does not have the infrastructure. What the AI or the available models allowed is really democratization of access to AI, and so we are, as many other startups, using what's available, including GPT-3, including looking into the open source models like Llama from Facebook. So yeah, it's more of a challenge is, to be honest, how to use this in the context of search and stay true to our philosophy of humanizing the web. So this is more of a bigger challenge than just connecting an API and slapping answers in the search engine. That's easy to do. So we are trying to really think through the use cases and make AI something that enhances the search experience and not creates it, if that makes sense. And we talk more about that in the upcoming blog post about AI. Okay, next one. What do you think about giving personal accounts access to search API, especially now that searches are limited? I think it could be fairly useful. For sure. I think that is the plan. Now that we have billing infrastructure in place, which took us 3 months to build, and thank God we are almost done. The personal accounts will have the ability to access the API. We still have to figure out how do we charge for the API. But other than that, I don't see a problem with that since we now have metered abilities in place. We should be able to do that. However, it will have to wait some time. Mind you, folks, we have over 200 features in our backlog that are strictly search related. So we are eager to get back to that and improve the core service first. We spent a lot of time working on billing infrastructure in the last 3 or 4 months. Okay, next one. How does Kagi derive its results rankings? Engines like Bing and Google are often full of SEO spam sites, but Kagi somehow weeds them out. Well, exactly, we weed them out. We weed them out by crawling the web and taking the note of all the crap that's out there. We have documented that. Actually, if you go to techless.com, our process is documented. We basically load a headless browser with uBlock origin extension, go to these websites and see how many ads and trackers they run. We take note and then use this as the main signal for ranking. So in other words, all the SEO spam sites and all the crappy sites with listicles out there and things like that are full of ads and tracking, and therefore we automatically have a way to downrank them, and vice versa. All the small weird blogs from normal people surface to the top because they don't run any of this crap. Hope that answers the question. Okay, this one is the long one. Any thoughts on guiding users to optimize their behavior to reduce resource use on Kagi infrastructure plus user credits? Right. So we did a lot of things that improve the cost of usage. For example, bangs are free. You should know that. If you reload a page or go to a search results and come back, it's also free. We don't charge it. So there's a minimal temporary cache in place for things like this. We will be adding more tips and tricks like that to the documentation. And Alex, this is, I think, a good call to action. And we are writing the updated documentation for the new plans. So we'll definitely include some of these tips and tricks for you guys. But basically everything that's sensible, everything that's common sense and is at no cost to us, we are open to doing. That's our approach to this. If improving your own crawler index is so expensive, are there any short-term solutions to bring the cost per search down? If you can bring it down, do you see price increases again? Well, obviously, if we can bring the cost down, the prices will not increase. There's a possibility they would decrease. The short-term solutions are investing more in our own infrastructure. So we will be expanding the Techless index and the TinyGem, which is our news index, considerably. And in some way, other providers increasing prices was a good wake-up call and kind of a forcing function for us to start doing these things. We are also negotiating with a number of other search indexes out there. Google and Bing are not the only people in town, and so this is all work in progress. We haven't done any of these negotiations. We haven't signed any deals yet. This is all work in progress. Our goal is to stop using Bing by May 1st and have decent replacements in place, hopefully not increasing our cost by too much. That's the high-level goal. We still have a month and a half to figure it out. I think we will. I hope we will. And we will act accordingly. Yes, I think I just answered this. We hope to preserve the search quality, by the way. So obviously, Kagi exists to serve the best search results in the world, and we will not be satisfied with anything less than that. We'll have more details as we do this. Do you have any plans? Do you have in plans a limited search mode? For some queries, being able to specify to search only tech lists or some other specific index would be more useful and cheaper to run. I think that's a great question. Goes back to what we talk about controlling cost. I think actually this would be a good thing to post on our feedback site, kagifeedback.org, and let us have a discussion on how to exactly do this. Querying Techlist and TinyGem, which are our two indexes, is many orders of magnitude cheaper than doing that for the entire web. Unfortunately, those indexes are only a few million pages big, so only specific types of content will work. But if this is something community wants, please post this on kagifeedback.org and upvote, and we'll make sure it happens.
Yeah, I think it'd be good to point out too, lenses are one of the ways that we kind of optimize costs too. Since we kind of know exactly what you want, we can execute them much more efficiently. And one of the things on our roadmap is to make lenses much more ergonomic to use. So things like being able to assign bangs or keyword trigger to lenses is on our roadmap and hopefully coming up very soon. So.
Thanks, Zach. How much Kagi is focusing on AI versus classic search? As an AI skeptic, I believe that for technical searches or advanced topics, the AI integration would not be much useful, and there's so much that can be added to classic search without going into AI territory. I somewhat agree with this sentiment, and remember, Kagi is in the business of search, not in the business of selling AI. And our philosophy is the AI is there to enhance the search experience and not create or replace it. Similar to how we use JavaScript in Kagi. Kagi works perfectly fine if you disable JavaScript in your browser. Having said that, I am excited by the possibilities that AI brings. We are just scratching the surface. The initial integration that we will have and that Zach demonstrated shows you some of that stuff. I think it's pretty cool to be able to chat with any document on the web. I think it's cool to get a summary of results for your what kind of questions. But what will ultimately happen in the future, and it's kind of hard to see right now, is the space of current searches being made is only about 10% of all searches that can be made. And the reason the 90% other searches are not made is because the search engines are not able to deliver on them. And just to give you a few examples, a very simple search like, does Berlin have more people than Madrid? Is a query that no search engine can answer today. And it's kind of stupid. That's a simple question that my kid would ask me. And no search engine, even the $1 trillion ones, can answer this question. Another example is, give me the names of all Texas-based CEOs with companies more than 200 people. Yeah, well, Bing Chat, I'm just reading. Bing Chat can answer this actually now thanks to AI, but I'm talking about the classic search. Oh yeah, maybe I gave a wrong example. Okay, now people are proving me wrong. But try Tel Aviv and Berlin. Anyway, so there will be searches like the one that I just mentioned. The other one is summarize all the recent research on breast cancer, right? It's a perfectly valid thing to ask a search engine, and it's not a thing today because search engines are not able to do it. And I think in 6 months to a year, you'll be able to ask that question to Kagi. Kagi will read, perform 2 or 3 searches. Kagi will extract content from those results and summarize all these results in parallel and show you the answer in 15 seconds, reading hundreds of pages of documents on whatever you ask it to do. We actually have a demo of that live where we do that for Twitter handles. So you can say, tell me more about, at Twitter handle, and we will research the Twitter handle, find who the person is, do multiple searches about a person, and show a summary. We showed this in a video a couple of weeks ago or months ago now. Time flies. Okay. Any plans on how to reduce query costs so people get more queries per month? Reducing query costs is something we are preoccupied every day. And as soon as we are able to do that, we'll do it. In the meantime, we will also publish those tips and tricks for you guys to do these optimizations yourself whenever possible. How Kage is future-proofing itself. After the big price increase and the following change in pricing plan, seems that a dependency on external index is the main point of company. If building your own index is too costly, what are the alternative plans? Well, it's important to know that it's really hard for any search startup to build their own index of the web. And it's not even a matter of money. Bing spent 20 years and $20 billion, and it's still kind of bad, right? So there are many things that go into building. It's not just indexing. The ranking is much more important. And one of the most important things is actually called the clickstream data. And this is what do people actually click in the search results. And this is how Google is able to have so much better results than Bing, for example, is the 20 years of billions or trillions of clickstream data. And even if you crawl the entire web, and even if you did your best to, rank results, you still miss this. So it's really incredibly hard to do that. There's new legislation now happening in EU that will be forcing big search engines like Google and Bing to share much more than they do now, including clickstream data, including other things. And I can post a link if there's interest for this. This registration is very new, and it is a path for smaller search engines to obtain some of this information and really be able to create their own indexes. For now, really, we are a small startup. We're perfectly fine relying on other search engine technology. I think Google is a good partner in that respect, and we are helping them, see what a better product would look like. And we are doing the best given the circumstances we have. Okay. Is the future vision purely feedback based, or is there a general long-term roadmap of features you guys want to implement? So it's about 50-50, Mark. It's 50% user feedback. Users are usually much smarter than us, but there is a product vision. There's a reason we are doing all this, and goes back to our original mission of humanizing the web, goes back to the reason I founded the company, goes back to 3 of my kids who I don't want to grow up in a world where they are influenced by ads and tracking since the very early age. So there is a set of guiding principles and a product vision that's very strong. On a strategical level and on a tactical level, it's the users who guide most of our actual product features and decision-making process. Do you see a need for funding this year, or can you continue as is? Luckily, we are in a situation to be able to continue as is. We are very close to sustainability. However, we are intending to do a financing round that we call family, friends, and users, where our users will be able to invest in Kagi. This is something we plan to do in April-May timeframe. We left the link in the last blog post, the pricing update blog post, and the last question in the FAQ has a link to the form. If you are interested to invest, you can fill the form and we'll get in touch and provide investor updates and whatnot. We'll use the money to expand the team. We're only 15 right now, building both a browser and a search engine. Where are we? 5? Okay. About Google's clickstream that was mentioned in regards to search engine optimization, is this something Kagi currently is doing as well? Is it anonymized? No, Kagi is not doing any tracking, telemetry, analytics, whatever. So when you click a link in Kagi, it's a plain HTML link. There's nothing going on there. And there's really no benefit in doing so as well, even if we wanted. The clickstream data really makes sense on, when you have billions of users. So nothing in that respect for now. I know some users asked us to save the search history for them and use it to personalize the results. We haven't really thought about that yet. I think there's a post on kagifeedback.org. You're welcome to chime in and, we can discuss that more. Do you know any companies that have been successfully funded by its users? Are you sure you will succeed with this idea? I'm not sure. I'm fairly optimistic. I love this company. I love this community. I love the product. I enjoy every day that I work on it. So even if it's not successful, I'm still, my heart is still happy, and I hope the team can share that sentiment. We are building something. It feels great to build it. We are serving the need that has been, for 20 years put aside, and people really did not have an option that wanted a decent search engine. And so we are not preoccupied by will it be successful or what even success means. Right now, success is surviving, and we are enjoying every day of the journey, and that's what is important. And I hope the community can relate to that as well to some extent. Okay, can you preview or discuss features we might expect to see in the family plan that will be launched later this month? The parental control features seem unclear. Zach, do you think we can share the family plan screen at all, or I should just talk about it? Okay, let me talk about those features and see if we can screen share. So there are multiple features that we are building. One of them is the approach to parental controls. Instead of blacklisting stuff, we decided to go with a different approach, which is whitelisting stuff. And actually, the way it works is we leverage lenses, and you'll be able to create lenses or use your existing lenses and assign those lenses to kids. So basically, there will be an option. This kid will have all of web search results, or the results should be limited to these lenses that I created. And you can imagine the lenses being educational, related to their school materials, websites you trust, websites you like, and we'll also have an option to share the lens, between parents. So you'll be able to export your lens and send it as a link to a parent who can then import it to their Kagi account and use that for their kids. So that's one of the things we have planned. I know we have another one, but I'm currently blanking on it. The first one is like the lenses for kids.
Yes.
What was the other one we built? Sorry, folks, we are so preoccupied with the launch tomorrow and pricing and all that. Family plan is 2 weeks from now. Yeah, so just in the interest of time, we'll post an update on this. I don't know who asked, but if you ask me on Discord, I'll share more details later. When are we getting merchandise with Dogo? Question from Discord. Alex, you want to take that one?
Yeah, I just answered that in Discord. We'll have that store up by end of the month.
Oh, okay.
I have the store. I haven't had a chance to get approval by our designer, and I'm not the most visually appealing or visually oriented person, or appealing potentially for that matter.
Okay. So I can switch to 25 plan and later come back to the 10 one, keeping the early adopter professional status. Yes, that is correct. So once you get the early adopter flag, it will stay with you forever. And is this really Mark, the same Mark, asking all these questions, or everybody is just signing as Mark?
Well, it says Mark. It's Marcus answered.
Mark, oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, okay.
This is
I'm an
one
idiot.
guy named Mark who's just super
I was just saying Mark.
enthusiastic.
I thought it was the name. Okay. Anyway, can you add an option to completely disable externally as if you were using just Techless? Yes. As I said before, let's create a post on kagifeedback.org and let's describe exactly what you want and how you want this in the user interface, and then we can expose only our index through that option. How is Kagi handling stuff like currency conversion, mod queries, translation? What does the backend for that look like? Zach, you want to take this one?
So currency conversions, everything right now is kind of bundled in that computer widget that we call it, that does all the math stuff, currency conversion. It's got a whole lot of bells and whistles in it. So the backend for that is a mix of external APIs that we use for like the currency rates, as well as for the math calculations. We leverage some open source stuff like math.js and some few other things to help us translate close to natural language looking stuff or math looking stuff into parsed expressions and to show you the calculated result. So yeah, something like that.
Okay. So the first two are answered. Are the new AI tools limited to English only? And if so, are there any plans to expand them to other languages? No, they are not limited to English only. They work almost in any language. I tried chat in Croatian, and I was pleasantly surprised. It works as good as I could imagine. And even the Universal Summarizer API will have an option for the output language. So no matter what the input language is, you'll be able to get summaries in the desired language. And actually, we won't be using any language models for that. We are paying a service called DeepL for translation there, which has much better translations than the language models. I've noticed that Google is better than Kagi at finding results for some not safe for work and unusual topics. Is there a reason for this and plans to improve this? So we obviously haven't focused on not safe for work stuff, as I imagine not many people would pay to access not safe for work in search. Unusual topics should be our specialty, though, especially through our independent indexes. Techless is very good at surfacing unusual stuff, so I'd like to hear more. If you want to share that on kagifeedback.org, we can take a look at what you mean. Can you significantly increase limits for custom lenses, or maybe remove them altogether and make a place where people could post and find lenses? It's multiple question in one. I would suggest making this a post on kagifeedback.org so we can take the discussion there. There has been a couple of times previously, like sharing lenses. I think there's some liability coming with that. Like, what if the origin, switches to malicious websites and things like that? It's not a simple thing. So you can find that discussion on Kagi Feedback and contribute there. How big is your team currently? Is the recent number of 5,000 paying users still correct? Yes, we crossed 5,000 paying users a few weeks ago. Our team is, I think, 16 at the moment. How's your bank account looking? It seems like Kagi has sacrificed a lot of money, especially with the initial temp. Yes, it's looking much better than anyone at SVB, but but not great. So the effort with the pricing change obviously has been an effort to make us sustainable quicker and don't have to worry about bank account, because once you reach sustainability, you have infinite runway and you don't need to think about that. And someone that's cautiously optimistic about AI and the potential environmental impact, would there be plans to make AI as frugal as possible? Yeah, so basically AI is already as frugal as possible in Kagi, as you've seen in demonstration from Zach. All our AI is on demand, which means it doesn't get activated automatically ever. And it's only when the users need it. I think that's much more frugal than what other search engines are doing, where it basically triggers on almost every search, which not only is I think resource, environmentally friendly, but also a bad user experience. So we are taking a different philosophy for AI, and we'll talk more about the blog post that's coming out tomorrow. Okay, I think we are almost done. Why do you have Kagi and Orion feedback on a separate domains? Because these are two separate products. There's so much feedback already, and we need to have them separately. The same goes for Discord. We have both Kagi and Orion Discord. Any hope for Kagi Reader? I think the question is regarding the Google Reader thingy. I'd love to have it. We will be introducing the RSS icon in Orion soon, so yay for RSS. We are big fans. So at least we will be bringing back the RSS discovery to Orion. Hopefully down the road we can have some, simple RSS reader built into the browser as well. I think it deserves to be there. You mentioned on Discord that you're already making changes due to the feedback you received regarding the new pricing structure. Can you maybe already talk a bit about these changes? What will change because of the feedback? Well, I already went through that in the beginning. So I would advise you to read the updated blog post, and you will see all of that already there. The one change that we did not get in the blog post that will be done is that everyone who had a prior subscription will be flagged as early adopter, versus only those who have a subscription tomorrow, active subscription tomorrow. So that's one change we are making. What do you think about adding political bias indicator to news, maybe powered by AI? We don't like to be in the business of bias. I don't even know what political bias means. I'm saying that as a citizen of the world. We leave the biases to users. We give tools to change your results any way you want. I really don't want to be in the business of any sort of biases, even like showing indicators. I don't think it's something we want to do. Later down the road, we will have an API to add widgets to our front end. And if someone wants to build something like that, feel free to do and share with the community. Please consider moving the more results from this side from the shield popover to the 3 dots button. I use this feature every day. It used to require 1 click to trigger, but now it requires 2 since it's not a popover. Okay. Yes, if you want this done, please post feedback to kagifeedback.org as a feature suggestion, and we'll take a look. I don't understand this first question. Yeah, we couldn't have feedback.kagi.com because then how do you call the Orion one? When is Orion coming to other operating systems? Well, likely when we have about 10,000 people paying for Orion, so there's somebody to pay for the development cost. We currently have a few hundred. Thoughts on Duck Assist is the bare minimum going forward. Is it the bare minimum going forward? Yeah, I tried it. We actually did a comprehensive test of 13 AI providers that will be published in our blog post tomorrow. We decided to drop Duck Assist from that test because it scored 0 points. And I didn't want them to feel bad. Their AI is very limited in capability right now. It is a very minimal set of questions it's able to answer. And our data set was consisting of very hard questions. We were really pushing these AI providers, including Kagi, to their maximum. So I think Duck Assist has a long way to go. Will there be more price increases in the future? I don't know. Any updates on email offering and potential AI integration on that? Yes, our plan is to create the email service. It has always been. I think you need to have search, browser, and email enabled to be able to holistically replace this basic infrastructure for consuming the web. And we still plan to do email sometime in the future, resource allowing. Hopefully the funding that we will raise will help do that. I think the first two are answered. We don't plan any price increases anytime soon, but I don't want to promise anything because last time I did that, I burned. So what if an AI blurts out something which causes a bad outcome? How can you control it? If it's just the search result, yeah. This is one of the reasons we have a special philosophy for AI integration, of which one of the guidelines is that AI is used in close context. So currently the open-ended chat is not possible, and we limit the discussion feature to discussing a document, which helps prevent hallucinations, bad outcomes, call it whatever you want. I think that is the way to integrate AI into search. We'll see how it goes, and you'll tell us tomorrow. This is all coming out tomorrow. Do you think you'll be able to persist this type of direct feedback and support when Kagi goes mainstream? Maybe a badge and priority queue for early supporters. Yeah, as I said, we will have a badge for early adopters that should show up in your dashboard tomorrow. We already have contributor status on Discord. And you can earn one if you have 10 points or more on kagifeedback.org, or you help translate Kagi, or you contribute to Kagi documentation. So there are ways to earn this badge and special recognition in the future. I don't even know what going mainstream means, but yeah, we are we care a lot about our community, and we really appreciate everything you guys have given us. There are some sour voices in the community saying ad hominem things against you and your nationality, Vlad. Did Kagi or your person encounter any problems, issues with that? To be honest, I haven't seen any of that. And if they were saying that somewhere and they said that I'm Russian, I'm not. I'm actually Croatian. So I'm not sure what someone would have against Croatia. But yeah. Have you thought about building more niche indexes like a programming one or recipe or something one? Yes, we did think about it, and the lack of. Oh, there's the name. The name is to the left. Oh man. Okay, I was looking at the mark all the time. Okay, so Grudy asks, have you thought about building more niche indexes? Yes, we are not hindered by the lack of plans or ideas. We are mostly hindered by the lack of resources. There's so much that we want to build. Our backlog is like 200, ideas. So it's not like that we lack ideas. It's mostly the resources at this time. And you guys can help a lot, and you already did by spreading the word. This is the main way that Kagi is growing right now, and basically the only way. As we don't have any marketing. So thank you so much. I think that's it. Okay, one more. Which programming languages is Kagi using? Zach?
Yeah, sure. We use Crystal, which is basically, if you're familiar with Golang and you're familiar with Ruby, it's kind of like mix those two together and you get Crystal. So yeah, we've been using it since pretty much day one, and it's treated us pretty good so far. I mean, you've been using the product, so you can see it's plenty capable. Other than that, we just use plain JavaScript, Postgres in our databases, and Python. That's also a pretty popular one. So, yep.
Okay. I think that's all, folks. Really happy to be able to have this event. I hope you found it useful, and let us know on Discord if this is something you'd like to make monthly, perhaps, and we are happy to serve. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great day. We will see you tomorrow when we roll this stuff out.
Yeah, and please don't mind if there are some bugs or problems tomorrow. It's a fairly substantial update. We did our best to polish everything, but it's one of the biggest updates we'll be rolling out, so thank you for understanding. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, guys. Bye.